So, ladies and gentlemen, the bot problem has been an issue for a while now, and it's getting to a point where it's honestly pretty ridiculous. And we'll talk about that a little bit now. About everything that's going on and like where it's coming from, like whatever I can think of basically off the top of my head. So the first thing, okay, we have to show that first is the numbers. Okay, the straight up numbers. We talk about the numbers first. Okay, we can't see that much, unfortunately. It's just this week, but as you can see, I think Asmongold did a pretty good video already on how like this is a very unnatural way of a game to function with player numbers. And basically the short version is bots don't sleep. Okay, bots don't sleep, and therefore you can not see a whole lot of difference here. So if we go and we look at something like literally anything else, could be Counter-Strike. Let's do that as a first one, which you can see is a really steep difference in the peak and the valley point, right? Which is almost a 50% point. In Lost Ark, dude, you can barely even see where the valley even is. Okay, like there is basically no one logging out. Now, yesterday we had a little bit of a valley here for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they restarted the bots at 10 p.m., which is not even a normal time. Usually it's at 1 a.m. UTC. And our valley is at 10, which doesn't make any sense either. Or randomly at 6 or 7. Like, yeah, this one made sense. This was the first day, but after the maintenance. So here, this valley here is probably semi-natural, but these ones don't make a whole lot of sense. Obviously, someone will say, "Oh my God, it's just Counter-Strike, man. You can't compare it to an MMO, man." Okay, then you can compare that to an MMO, and here's an MMO. And not only is this an MMO, but BDO actually encourages the player to stay AFK offline during the night, right? Because you can do AFK fishing and all of that kind of shit. So basically the players in BDO are essentially, well, human bots, right? So in this case, this is a way less of a steep valley as Counter-Strike, but it's still way steeper and way more natural, as you can see. Each day has this natural wave than Lost Ark. But like Lost Ark is completely dysfunctional as a player base, right? Obviously this is only the Steam part of BDO, but that's besides the point. It still shows it very well, I think. So what does that mean? That means we have an actually very significant amount of bots. Because if you look at BDO again, you can tell that although a lot of players are still online during the night, there's still a significant decrease each day. And we don't have any of that. Now, we had some estimations because for a couple of days, it felt like the player base was like normalizing before this. So we were guessing that the active player numbers were between like 100 to 200k or something. And I still think that's fairly accurate, which you can also see in the normal, well, decline of players, which is from 850 here to around 780 at the lowest point. So that would be around 60,000 players. No, actually 80,000 players. No, 60,000 was right. 60,000 players depleting or declining, which would mean if we take other games that have like a 50-50 rate, like Counter-Strike or something, which is like a 50% decline. So if that was accurate and players would actually naturally log out, then this difference would, then the active player numbers would probably be, with the lowest point, I mean, maybe like 120,000 on a Saturday, maybe a little bit more. I'm guessing 150. I don't know if my logic is sound here, but like I'm guessing around 150 to 200,000 active players. Okay. And as you can see, the 24-hour peak is 885k, which keeps getting worse, by the way. Like, as you can see here, the numbers keep increasing while the Twitch viewership keeps declining, which is, you know, that's not a normal correlation here. So it's getting worse, is what I'm saying, okay? This also correlates with something that is kind of depressing, which is a lot of news articles about Smilegate celebrating 800,000 players, where like the director or someone was like super excited. Like there's a lot of Korean articles here basically, where they were very excited that, oh my god, we got 800,000 concurrent players in the West, essentially stating, oh my god, like our game is doing so well over here. There's a couple of these articles which are obviously completely disconnected from the reality, because we have nothing even close to 800,000 active players. It's closer to 200,000, you know, is my guess at least. Which, you know, isn't a very good look, because that means Smilegate doesn't really understand what's going on, right? And yeah, there was also some things like gold duping, but I don't know if this gold duping is actually like correct. Also, maybe that's also worth mentioning actually. If I actually go to the literal Steam page, maybe that's a little bit better. Lost Ark has dropped the review state from mostly positive to mixed in the recent reviews, which, I mean, probably has a lot of reasons. Maybe some of that has to do with a little bit of pay to win here and there or some other shit, but mostly I think this is related to the bot situation. And what makes this even worse is that NA West, for example, which is the only region as far as I know at the moment that has like up to 10,000 player queues, or even more, I think almost 20,000 someone said earlier, during like in the middle of the night or in the morning, where because bots don't sleep, right? So the bots keep staying online and the real players can't log in, because if you log out you're gonna be in a queue, because the entire fucking server is to the brim full with bots. On top of that, maybe that's also important to mention, the server capacity for the NA West servers is very low for no apparent reason. I think they talked about that before, but I can't really remember, which just makes this problem even worse, obviously, right? So all of that combined is just not a very good look. And if this keeps on going, this will definitely hurt the economy even more than it already does. Like, a lot of the market is inflating. A lot. The gold is getting gold is very hard if you're not RMTing. There was also a good comparison by Hassa on the Discord. Hold on, let me see. Comparing these two. So comparing the Royal Crystal price, essentially, like selling, like how much would it cost to sell actual Royal Crystals for gold, and how much it costs on some shady RMT website. And the result is it's roughly 3 times more effective to RMT than it is to actually buy through the store. 3 times more effective. So as you can see here, $100 gives you 12,000 Royal Crystals, and with that you get around, let's say, 50,000 gold. It's already very generous. So this, let's say for $100 you get 50,000 gold, and for $100 roughly you get 150,000 gold. So that's literally triple the price. Yeah. So that's a pretty big issue. Let's just say that, okay? And it's not really getting better either. And obviously Smilegate celebrating that also makes this way worse. And then the cherry on top was this post on the forums that was already edited, by the way, because they got a lot of shit for it, by one of the community managers who says, "Thank you for the feedback. The bot and RMT situation is something the team is actively working on. I get the frustration you feel and why you want to make cheaters feel fear, but no kingdom ruled through fear is a kingdom worth ruling." Which, like, in and of itself is the cringiest shit I've ever heard. But the problem is a lot of these bot RMT users are not getting punished, right? The bot's gonna get banned, right? But the people who like go to the auction house, go to, like, I don't know, accessories in tier 1, right? And then they buy shit, or at recent prices we should look, right? And like, look at this whole at one point, that was today too. There was a tier 1 necklace with 3 quality endurance expertise who was sold for 1.5 million gold. So in the RMT terms, this is $1,000, okay? If this is RMT obviously, so whoever bought this paid 1,000 euros. 1,000 euros to get 1.5 million gold. The question is, how could they not just go through these, even if it's just individually, and just instill some fear in the RMTers? Because if you're doing this shit, you're gonna get banned. What they're doing instead is they're taking away money. So you can actually go into minus gold. So for example, if I bought this and then it got removed from my account, I would then just get minus 1.5 million or something. And maybe like a 1-day ban. I've not heard of like any RMTer, maybe outside of Mega Shield. I think he got banned once. But I haven't heard of a lot of people getting permabanned. And I think that's what kind of needs to happen, right? They're scared they get busted. Yeah, you need like some sort of way to not like these. This is an MMORPG, right? Like if your account is banned, then everything you've done, all of the collectibles, every character you've created, all of that shit is gone. You have to even level again, probably. Like that's a lot of time that you waste. And banning people in an MMO is what's required. Now the question is, why wouldn't they do this? This is the same question we had with the honing, right? Why are we not getting the honing buff with the stronghold with VYKIS? Because every other region got that. But like, why is that not happening? You know, need tools forced to two-factor authenticator or some captcha every X hours. I mean, that would be one solution as well, right? But this is the easiest one. You just go through this here. Everyone who bought anything above 100k gold for some ridiculous item, banned. And you obviously can look through their like trading history and everything as well, I'm sure. So it shouldn't be too hard to pinpoint some RMTers and just get them out of the fucking game, you know. And that's why this post was so. Well, you can see it has 1,000 upvotes, and it was already changed, by the way. Maybe I can find it actually. There was the post in the comments here somewhere. Last time I checked, where they linked it, but he already changed it here. He already edited it. He also said that, and now his post states, "Thank you for the feedback. The bot RMT situation is something the team is actively working on. I get the frustration you feel when you want to make cheaters feel fear, but no kingdom ruled through fears or kingdom worth ruling. Edit for clarity." Cheating is wrong. Cheats should be punished. Cheaters are punished. Are they though? Or are they punished enough? Obviously, I don't go out and like harass these community managers. These guys are just the messengers anyways, okay? Although, as always, like these guys are obviously the bridge between the developers that are responsible for the shit and the community, but again, these are just community managers, right? So cheaters are punished with thousands of bots flooding the server. I mean, even if we could just go to Vern really quick, which I'm not even sure. Last time I checked, it was pretty bad, and as I said, like it just keeps getting worse, it seems. Like at this point, I think this 24-hour peak number will eventually reach 1 million again. And of course, the Descaluda video, you guys probably already saw that as well, where there was a destroyer literally one-shotting Descaluda as a bot and had like some mad cheat engine happening, which is just the next issue, because if the bots can one-shot bosses, and there are some bosses that you can one-shot, they can obviously generate even more gold. And with that, the upcoming Ridge, which is the place where you get new legendary engraving books that you are able to trade, at least in every other region, may not be tradable anymore. I could see that happening, because if they want to fix like bots RMTing as much, like I can just walk here and there's always bots here. There's never a time of day where there aren't bots here, of course. I mean, bots don't sleep. And this is on every channel. Look how many channels there are on Vern. How many real players do you see here? How many real players do you see here? And these are just outside of the Chaos Dungeon, right? Not inside. I don't know how many people are inside. Like, if I go to any channel, this is like, it's like that here. Again, 0 real players, only bots. Not that many bots, to be honest. That's maybe like 10 bots on top of each other or something. It's not even that many. There's channels, there's like I don't know, 100 bots being in an ant line here, and it just keeps going. And most of the bots you don't see because they're literally just inside of the chaos dungeon, right? And yeah, this is a picture of someone getting minus gold, but like, who the fuck cares? They should just be permabanned. Why do they get minus gold? So how, like, why is this happening? There's also something interesting that I saw the other day. April 19th. So this is almost 2 months ago. And well, you guys saw the Descaluda being a cheater in the, or the Descaluda, the destroyer in the Descaluda raid. So there's a lot of like hacks already out in other regions, and these kind of hacks that are out in Russia or I don't know, any other version, right? Look at this person. Will make their way to our version eventually as well, right? And that is, you know, a thing. So that's also something that you have to keep in mind, because easy anti-cheat isn't really... This guy's so fast he can't even stop to kill the guy. Like this kind of shit will keep happening if there's not like a proper way to fix that, right? So what does that mean for the game? Because obviously, for example, I'm on EU Central right now, and I can tell you a lot of the prices are already like way too high. Currency exchange is at 930, was at 870 earlier, which is also pretty crazy. A lot of the gem prices are going ridiculously high, and it's just gonna be very hard for someone that doesn't RMT or doesn't bus, right? Like if you're someone like me that does run buses, you will always generate a decent amount of gold. But if you don't do that, and if you don't RMT, it will be pretty hard to make enough gold to buy the necessary gems, engraving books as well, right? To counter, like, or just to progress your character, right? This is also insane. So for like 2 weeks ago, I bought Keen Blunt books for 6k, and I felt like that was a bad call because they will go down. I was wrong. These books are at 7.9k right now, and with the amount of gold that we're generating is very, very little. Very, very little. Which just, like, this will just keep going. And now keep this in mind, right? Everyone is right now waiting for VYKIS to come out, or VYKIS to come out, and with VYKIS Bridge, or Ridge, or whatever you want to call it, which will give everyone 2 legendary selection engraving boxes. So you can pick two engravings, you can sell them, or you can use them, right? So everyone is saving up right now for like when the Grudge book prices fall, right? What happens though if Amazon says, if this comes out, all of the bots in the game, because all of them have damage hacks now, anyways, they can one-shot the Ridge. All of the high-level bots can just buy these and make mad fucking gold. And that will just make the bots even worse, and there will be even more bot prices, even more bot, trading. So what will they do about that? There's a big chance that they could make them unbound or bound instead of unbound. What happens to this then? Like if they already did this to the Infinite Chaos Dungeon. Look at these fucking cockroaches. Like anyways, like they already did this to the Infinite Chaos vendor, right? So you can't sell these anymore. You used to be able to sell all of this, but now they're bound. But you could, again, like you can't actually sell those anymore. So they already did that for Chaos Dungeon. Now, what if they do that for the books? No one that isn't RMTing or maybe mad flipping the market or doing like 10 buses a week can ever afford 20 Grudge books. Like it's already almost at 250, actually almost at 300,000 gold to get it maxed, which is insane, right? So that's why, and then we come back to the point from earlier where Smilegate is celebrating 800,000 concurrent users, and they're saying, oh my god, if you just make a good game, then, you know, it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be celebrated all around the world and all of that stuff, right? The maximum number of concurrent users of the Steam version of Lost Ark has risen continuously since the first update in April and reached 800,000 on May 31st. Which is just bots. So again, like, Smilegate isn't even acknowledging the situation and seems completely disconnected from all of this shit that's happening, right? And to them, it's just like this funny, this mad success. which is also very weird to me at the same time, because a lot of they're missing out on a lot of money because people aren't paid to winning through them anymore, right? And here's this meme post someone, oh no. Okay, got deleted. Here, where they just basically stay like, oh my god, in the first month of running the bots, we only seemed to get a few thousand yuan, but now it's basically going really well, and we're making mad money off of bots. Is it a Smilegate statement? No, there was. I think they interviewed someone. There were a couple of articles about this, as you can see. So someone interviewed, like, I don't know, someone from Smilegate. G1G Gil, CEO of Smilegate RPG, said, Lost Ark's core end content corresponds Legion Rage, which has both fun and completeness, is gaining popularity among adventurers in the West. If you focus on the fun, the essence of the game, it proves that you can be loved anywhere. Essentially, if you put a lot of work in, then you're gonna be successful everywhere in the world. We'll do our best to provide you with long-term pleasure as the goal, the global #1 MMORPG. So it was this guy here, CEO of Smilegate RPG. This is a big problem, and I don't think this can be fixed either, unless Smilegate and Amazon work together and finally like put a little bit more effort into tackling the issue. And as you know, as we can see right here, this is going up instead of down. Although every other tangible view number, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch or Google or whatever, is rather going down when it comes to Lost Ark, which is completely normal, right? But that the Steam numbers are like going up like this is not very natural, especially because recently we haven't even gotten anything, right? Like after Valtan has been out for like 3 weeks, the player numbers are still increasing, which is not very, well, normal. And as you can see, you know, we talked about this already, the bots are running rampant still. I think that is plenty of evidence that this is a really big issue, and even worse, that it's not really acknowledged that much, which it seems very odd because like Amazon and Smilegate are losing a lot of money. So I don't understand how this is not acknowledged more, right? I don't understand. I think this will continue to be a big issue for the game, and especially big if we consider that as a new player, right? Like you're a new player and you level through the game for the first time, and every single person you see is a bot. That will stunt the growth of the game and will just make it worse and worse. Like if I was a new player and the first thing I see is an antline of bots doing the same quest as me, one-shotting every mob, and maybe before they fix that, these bots also teleported around, right? I would just say, fuck that, dude. I'm not dealing with that shit. So what is the solution to this? The solution is to either have a lot of manual workers that are out of like manually going through everything, reviewing accounts and banning not necessarily the bots, because that doesn't have an end, right? But the people that actually are RMTing and instilling fear into them, which is, you know, oh my god, you can't rule a kingdom with fear, guys. That's not worth ruling. Well, whatever. But you know what I mean, right? I think if we look at an 885 hour peak, I would say at least 600, probably 650,000 bots, maybe more. And I don't think I've ever seen anything even close to that in any other game. And it's sad to see, because the game is actually gonna keep evolving and keep getting better with every Legion raid we get and the new content updates that Korea is getting as well. So it's very sad to see that this is just being basically left unattended, and they're not really punishing the armed tiers and stuff, you know? But I'm running in circles here. So Amazon, please. Smilegate, please. Although you're apparently not really aware of the situation over there in Smilegate, this needs to really change when it comes to the bot population, therefore also the economy, right? Which can also have more lasting problems for the economy, but since Lost Ark does have a lot of gold sinks, it's not going to be that bad for that long, if that's actually solved, right? But hopefully they can figure this out, and yeah. Thanks for tuning in. If this video was fun to you, so consider subscribing, and see you in the next one. Or come over to Twitch and join these guys. Peace.